Another kill production.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz. Welcome to the channel. Fuck, my shoulder hurts. Yeah, it was a very interesting week of football that happened. People got spanked. People got exposed. People out here botching press conferences.
Ooh.
We gonna talk about it all. But first off, it's 2 days before Thanksgiving. I can already feel the food in my belly. How you guys doing? I'm your boy Shabazz. It's Natty Bass as always. Welcome to Week 11 recap. Slide happening. We got Zach Wilson mess. We got a kickoff, a punt return. We got Cordell Patterson breaking the all-time record for kickoff returns. We're gonna get to all that. But first, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend, and let's get right real quick. Soon, possibly might have some new additions to my background. I might get a sign that says ShabazzTV. We gonna see. We gonna see. I'm trying to finesse my girl to get it for my birthday. Yeah. We gonna see though.
Before we get
Yeah.
started, obviously happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrated. Be thankful for a lot this year. Continued growth with the channel, continued growth with football love, um, family, good health upon everybody, uh, monetarily, physically, spiritually, mentally, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, football. We got a couple more weeks left, but we can't talk about the future without reminiscing about the past.
Mm.
So let's talk about it. Thursday night football. We had Titans going to Green Bay, and the score was 20. I think the score was like 27-20,
27-17.
27-17, and
It didn't feel like it though.
it did not feel like it. The Titans dominated time possession, and the Titans play a brand of football that everyone. I told Renell this. I told my friends. I'm like, "Yo, Titans are gonna win the AFC South," and everyone's like, "What? No, they Matt Ryan's on the Colts, and Trevor Lawrence is gonna be great, and all that stuff." I'm like, the Titans play a brand of football that allows them to travel anywhere. They play decent. They play great defense, good to great defense, and they run the ball. They do what teams don't want to do. Everybody wants to be pass happy and throw the ball all over the yard if you can, like Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow. But in football, even back in the day when it first started, running the ball was key. Running the ball, and you have fantastic rusher and Derrick Henry. In my opinion, the best running back today. And they had it on a broadcast. In his last 20 games, he has like 1,500 yards or 2,000 yards or some shit like that. Like, he is like a monster. He is a man amongst boys. The Titans utilize him well. And he embodies what that franchise is. Tough, hard nosed, and that coach Mike Vrabel, who gets overshadowed a lot. They play his brand of football. And just like that, boom, what? They're 7-3. I mean, it's not hard to pick them to be winning the AFC South because that division is a dumpster fire. We'll talk about all the other teams except for the Jags who are on a bye, but somehow they still lost the bye. It feels like they lost if they don't play. They lose anyway. The Titans are here to stay. The Packers are reeling, and Christian Watson's a bright spot. But other than that, Aaron Rodgers seems to be cooked. But talk to him.
See, I don't know. It's a lot to unpack with this game. I feel like, first off, shout out to the Titans. Like, they are no one. If you look at them like, oh, you're 7-3, like, okay, like they do this every single year, and as you mentioned, they continue to be slept on because their brand of football isn't the most desirable. They're not chucking it 40 times a game like the Bengals, like everyone else. What you drinking, huh?
Oh, watermelon sangria.
Ooh, okay. He said I'm off.
Oh, I'm off for a couple days. So
We celebrate. Celebration, good times. Come on. But back to the type of them. Like they don't play a pretty brand of football. They play early 2000s football. Like they play good defense and they run the ball and they utilize the weapons around them to the best of their abilities. Because Mike Vrabel, as you mentioned, that was him. He was a linebacker for the Patriots who was hard nosed and in your face and a very hard hitter for the Patriots in the early dynasty. So nothing really to say about the Titans. More about the Packers though. I feel like it's weird. Like for some reason the Packers were favored in a matchup and like we took the Titans easily. We was like, how are they favored? They can't consistently run the ball, which is one of the things I was like, I was like, yeah, we got the formula, but can they be consistent with it? No. Now, to be fair, the Titans' run defense is actually pretty solid, which they had to rely more on the pass and a little bit of trickery with the 12 men on the field at the end of the first quarter thing. Without that, I don't think they scored. At least not 7. They probably scored 3 because they're in field goal range, but I don't think they score a whole touchdown. Christian Watson, he had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. Like, it's acting like for like basically it's damn near 100%. Like, if he catches the ball, it's a touchdown. But they don't give him like opportunities to get more yards and like get him like a wide receiver screen because he's fast as shit. Get him more opportunities. Now, Colin Cowherd said something. Shout out to the herd. He was like, "Yo, so they lost this game. Now they play the Eagles Sunday night this week. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Like, yo, talk to Aaron Rodgers. Like, yo, fam, you trying to sit out so we can evaluate Jordan Love to possibly trade him to get more draft picks. Now, in essence, it's a sound idea. Like, oh yeah, you could bench Aaron Rodgers. He's not taking that punishment because the offensive line is still pretty average, and they're playing the Eagles, who they're gonna put the paws on them. So like, why would you suffer that embarrassment where you could just not fake like you're injured, but like, yo, like respectfully send him out because, like you said, he's a little cooked right now. See what the youngster got going on, and then possibly get his value up so then they could trade him in the offseason for some trade, like a second rounder, a third round pick. Hey, I wouldn't mind that at all. But going by the Titans, and hey, they could easily like the number 1 seed is still up for grabs. I know they lost to Kansas City, but Kansas City lost to Buffalo, who lost to Miami, who beat Baltimore. Like it's like a whole like the number 1 seed. I know
there's still 6 weeks of football where
they're winning the games. Like exactly, anything can happen. So
actually 7 weeks because 17 games. So 7 weeks left of football.
So
anything can happen. Speaking of anything can happen, the fucking Falcons, man.
My man's fuck the bullshit. We gotta promise. I know it's not New Year's. But we gotta try to stop cursing on the shit. We got that's from one last time when we talk about the Ravens and the Panthers. Other than that, I'm gonna try not to curse. My man's Cordell Patterson broke the record. It took him like 5 years because he was tied for like mad long. When he was on the Bears, he tied the record, and then he broke the record when he was on the Falcons, which is kind of like a full circle moment because he tied it and then he broke it. This is kind of fire.
Yeah, he's one of the few people who was played like he obviously started with the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
turn there. Then he probably played the Patriots and got a kick off return for them, like against them. played the Bears, got a kickoff return against the Vikings, and now they play for the Falcons, they got a kickoff return against the Bears. So it's like he's one of the few people. Anywhere he goes, hey, it's electric. But
like
he redeemed
he did
himself.
that.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, he redeemed himself really well.
Yeah, because he fumbled and then like the Bears scored a touchdown, and then right after he's like, "Bet, give me that." And so and like something in my spirit told me like as soon as he caught that, I was like, this is out. It's out of here. Because they were like talking about like the media, like not the media, but like I was like, yo, watch him go crazy. Like it was a good kick. And then once he started running, I was like, yeah, it's gone. He's out there. And we booked the first tackle, he was just straight to the races. I was like, oh.
He runs so flat-footed but fast. It's like
So fast. But besides, that was like the bright spot for the Falcons. It was a sloppy game from both sides. Like the over, you smashed the over again. Like I know it was about like I think a point, right? Because it was like, but hey, a win's a win, right? I feel like this is the growing pains that we need to see from Justin Fields because he had the highs. He had the highs. But then you saw the lows. And he even said it like, oh, I let my defense down. We're going to get to letting defenses down later. But like the maturity and like, oh, he owned it. He threw a bad interception. We basically cost the game. Like they were driving and he threw a pick. Tough. But now all the answers that we have about Justin Fields are getting answered week by week. Can he be the guy to lead your team to a playoff run, to a Super Bowl? You see it. You see it. But now, like, yo, now all season, you got a lot of cap space. You got to put money and resources around him so he can be the best player he can be. Because eventually his legs aren't going to be as fast as they used to be. Now, black don't crack, but eventually, it simmers down a little bit. Mm-hmm. But he has a great arm. Like, the throws he was making, I know he overthrew Mooney on one of them, but he redeemed it and got him a touchdown. Great catch by Mooney. Cole Kmet, one-hander with the contact. Great catch. Defense, they got some turnovers. Played all right. But at the end of the day, I think one team had to win. Unfortunately, it was a team we were rooting against. But I guess the Falcons, they're still in it. They still in it. With Marcus, Jordan, Baker, Mariota. Like, it's weird to me.
Right. Shout out to Matt with the Jordan Baker comp. He does look like Jordan Baker a lot. Shout out to All-American. But it's one of those weird situations where, like, Bears, third down efficiency, 56%. Time possession, 35-24. But remember, the same thing, we'll talk about the Saints game later, which I was pleasantly surprised about. Turnovers, not really, because it was a 3-1 with 2-1 with Falcons winning, or losing, rather. Penalties. Anytime they started driving, boom, holding call. And just watching the game live, watching it, like, oh, you can look at the box score and like, okay, you can tell why the team lost. But every single time they still something good happened, boom, bring it back, and 4 sacks. That offensive line, we talked about it, like we mentioned it, but Justin Fields has been so amazing lately that it's been kind of like shooed under the rug. But you can't have a patchwork offensive line. Like we talked about the resources that they have. They have to be able to surround him with protection and also get him some dynamic players. Chase Claypool, shout out Notre Dame, as much as great as he is, and Cole Kmet, shout out as great as he is, it's not enough. We need some speed. We need, because we got enough big bodies. 6'4", 6'5" guys. That's fine. We need some shifty, quick guys who could take, like a Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, who could take a screen pass 70 yards to the house. Like we need. I said we because I'm a Bears supporter at this point because I watch Bears games all the time. We as Chicago Bears fans, or they need a speedy receiver. They had him. They have him, and I don't know what happened to Tariq Cohen. I don't know what happened to him. I wish he was healthy, but he's not. I think it was Achilles tore, so he's recovering from that. But you need to get the resources around Justin Fields to elevate him to the next level. And for the Falcons, this was a classic game that they should have lost. But hey, they're 5-6. That's all I really got to say on that. They're 5-6. Saints are 4-7. We play them soon. But now we got Panthers and Ravens. The only thing I'm going to say, and I'm going to let you have the floor. The Panthers, I'm not saying should have won, but if they had a competent quarterback, they would have won. Because the Ravens off a bye, I thought would be destroying them. And I talked about it last Wednesday. I'm like, there is an avenue for the Panthers to upset y'all because the Panthers, I've said every week on
Panthers
this
defense.
show, I say
Panthers
the
defense.
Panthers defense is legit. Every week on this show, I say it. Yeah, they lose games because their offense can't score. We'll talk about an offense that can't score despite a fantastic defense later on in the show. But even if they can't score, the defense finds a way to keep them in games. I've said this every single week, and the Panthers don't let me down for that. That's one thing about the Panthers I'll give them credit for. Their defense is hellacious and legit. Now the offense, we say the fade Baker Mayfield.
Smoke that bacon pack.
You want to have your own sing along and all the other stuff. You go for it. Good win by the Ravens. John Harbaugh, so great coach. Ravens 7-3. Go for it.
All right, so boom. Smoking that bacon pack. I'm not even gonna do the song today. That's childish, but dude fucking sucks, yo. Bro. All right, so they're driving down the field. The fumble recovery, that's more Marcus Peters. I know you don't like him, but that was a great play by Marcus Peters. And then Marlon Humphrey always has a nose for the ball. Him forcing fumbles and getting fumble recoveries. Like Marlon Humphrey has his imprint in the game because he had the pick. And the fumble recovery, Loki should have got fumble 6 because he wasn't touched, but they called it dead. I was like, all right, whatever. That's fine. They still got the ball back. We lost because of
you won.
Oh, sorry. We won because defense. The defense carried. Offense, yeah, we had 300 total yards, but that's not a lot. We had 100. No, wait, what? Oh yeah, we had 100 rushing yards. Awesome. But as a team, though, like Kenyon Drake was supposed to do that, but again, we always the story. Though I was like, we're gonna spank them only because of Baker Mayfield. The defense, like, literally put a competent quarterback like Jimmy G on that team, and we probably get upset because the defense, time after time, as you keep on preaching on the show, like they keep showing up. Our defense showed up too, but when he needed to play, Lamar made it happen. Lamar to Mark Andrews, Lamar to Marcus Robinson, who actually was a pretty great transition. Who finally, like, yeah, this is like second time in like 3 weeks. That like he did something against the Bucks. He did his thing, and then we had the Saints. He didn't really do much. It was an ugly game, but we still close because it was more rushing. And then now he did something. So now we can get that consistently. That'll be awesome. And then next year when Rashad Bateman comes back, them two, when we draft another receiver, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Not too bad. But the things that killed us though were always we threw a pick. Lamar threw a pick, but that wasn't really his fault. That was a great play by the fat man. Great play by him. And then we had 10 penalties for 93 yards. That stalled our drives and at the same time gave them more chances. Granted, Baker Mayfield's trash. We know this. But if we have 10 turnovers, we have 10 penalties, and that's stalling us from getting in field goal range or getting out of field goal range. Like on my phone, I got Mark Andrews in like 5 fantasy leagues. Like, we're in the red zone. All right, cool, great. At this time, full transparency, I'm on my way to see my girl. So like I'm listening in. Got the Redstone stream on my phone, whatever. I ain't gonna say how I got it, but wait, we got the stream on the phone. But then I'm seeing, hey, wait, we in the red zone. All right, there's no plays. Red zone's not playing no plays for us. Penalties. All right, holding, legal contact offense, false start. We're out of the range, and then shit happens. We play the Jags. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but good win by us. That's why I hope we don't even get the number 1 seed. I hope we don't. Because lately, off of buys, we've been very shaky. I know we win the games off of buys, typically more than not. But, like, having that, especially, let's say you get the number 1 seed, right? And you rest your starters week 18, that's 2 weeks. 2019, we had the number 1 seed, Lamar MVP. We came out sluggish in the first half against the Titans, and we got spanked. We need to be in the game. Like, I'd rather have 1 week off in week 18 than 2 weeks off with that in the bye. That's just me though. But good win by us. Hey, a win's a win. You gotta win. You gotta win the ugly ones. and I ain't gonna complain. And then Lamar going into the end zone himself was like, yeah. But the win by us, I ain't tripped about it. We knew it was gonna win, but it's whatever. Now, surprise.
So let me say this because I was so everybody in the football world wanted the game to be in Buffalo.
For the snow game.
We wanted the snow game in Buffalo. We made our predictions on Wednesday, not knowing they were moving the game because they moved the game on Friday. On Friday, they said, "Yo, we're moving it to Detroit." So full transparency for the picks. Yeah, we still count it. We both lost. We both picked the Browns. And at the first half, it looked like the Browns were, running the ball. They were doing what they were supposed to do. But then Josh Allen in the dome, that offense in the dome, not with the elements, woke up and like, all right, let's play football. But one thing I will say about also before I continue, also hope the city of Buffalo, they're used to snow. I'm not saying they're not used to thunder snow before. I don't know what the hell that even is, but I hope their homes and everyone's fine in Buffalo. But they ran the ball like surprisingly well. They had 170 yards rushing for a Buffalo Bills team. You would think the Browns had 170 yards. No, the Bills didn't. They ran the ball. They took the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. Now, again, Josh Allen. But he only threw the ball 27 times. He had 197 yards. They had almost as many yards rushing than they had passing. That's when the Bills can be scary. I've talked about this also week after week, that the Bills kryptonite, the thing that will kill themselves, not trying to kill them, unalive themselves or kill their playoff chances, will be the ability to run the ball. They can't run the ball, and they have Josh Allen trying to be hero and play, just trying to be on all Madden and my player, my career. They're just trying to make things happen. They're going to lose eventually because there's no balance. As Thanos said, perfectly balanced as all things should be. You should want to be balanced. You should not want to have one thing dominant over the other. Hence, why when the Browns get behind, they can't run the ball. They can't run the ball. And it's the shit. Nick Chubb had 19 yards on 14 carries. 19 yards on 14 carries. The essence of the Browns is want to run the ball, but when they can't, or because they're behind, they have to throw the ball 40-something times with Jacoby Brissett. Now he didn't throw any picks. He had 3 touchdowns, cool. But their identity is actually running the ball. They are similar to the Titans in where they want to run the ball. But the Titans don't panic. The Titans are like, yo, we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna play we're gonna play our game regardless of the score. The Browns are like any game you see in Madden where you're down, it's like, oh, we gotta run a 4-minute offense, we gotta start throwing the ball, we gotta start get away from our identity. No, it's only till the fourth quarter that the game got out of hand. It was still close. It was 13-10 at halftime. Like, why did they get away from running the ball? I will always question it. Like we're big. Me and you are big proponents of running the ball. We want running backs to get their shine because we value the running back position. But if you can't run the ball because you're afraid things that happen, you get you get turned over, and nope, we can't run the ball because we're down 9 points. You're down 9. It's still within reach. You make a good drive together, boom, you're down just one possession. But teams get scared and abandon the run. And Bills embrace the run this week. Can it be consistent? Detroit, we'll talk about that game tomorrow. But hey, the Lions might have something for them boys. But good win by the Bills, especially having to relocate to Detroit. And I think they're staying in Detroit this week because the game is on Thursday. So that's a whole kind of another factor that they got to consider. But good job by the Bills.
See, you said everything I wanted to add, but I think it's one. No, we're perfectly fine. I feel like there's one element that we're both probably ignoring. We're like, yo, for the last couple weeks, their pass defense has been atrocious. Run defense leaves a lot to be desired as well. But if you can hold Nick Chubb to only 19 yards, granted, he only had 14 carries. They should have ran the ball more. We both agree on that. But to hold him to 19 yards, that's the stat. 19 yards is all he got. Hey, they did something. Now, Dalvin Cook, they had him in check as well, but he busted out like a 71-yard run last week. Like, you can't really, like, that kind of inflated the numbers a little bit. But I feel like Micah Hyde's, like, injury is, like, you're saying I agree 100%. The fact that they can't run the ball is going to kill them. Run the ball consistently without Josh Allen. It's gonna kill them. However, I think that at the same time, they play a team like the Chiefs or the Bengals, and Micah Hyde's not there. I hope you get better. I think he's dealing with like a neck injury. Those are serious, bro. I know this was like I think Trey White's first game back, but they got cooked by Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper turned back the clock by a good couple years against them. Like it was just crazy. Now, I think they play the Lions. Now the Lions, they're at home. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, but low-key leaning the Lions. Only for the simple fact that they know what they want to do. Teams without an identity, teams with an identity is always scary. Because even so, like it was late, but the things go their way, the Browns can easily win that matchup. But that's another topic for another day. I don't even want to say anything. This game was so trash, bro. And I'm happy I had Washington's defense on my fantasy team. I still lost the matchup to Angelo. Because of fucking one interception, bro. Chase McSorley, Colt McCoy, put your motherfucking hands back down, both of y'all motherfuckers. Literally, they don't catch a pick, I win the game. Literally, they don't throw picks, I win the game. Jimmy G, I got a whole rant for later on, but that's fine. But back to Commanders. This was so trash just because I don't know. Like, do you feel confident about the Commanders after this win? No, because they played the worst. They're literally the worst team in the league. But you play who's on your schedule, so you can't get mad at it. But you play who's on your schedule, and that's on your schedule, and it's just weird. It's just weird. Like CJ Stroud's probably gonna go to the Texans. Odds are probably tough. It's just tough. It's tough. Commanders did all right. But and then Scary Terry he didn't do much either, but they still won. So
it was 23-10 with a pick six on like the first drive of the game, and the Commanders never looked back. Chase Young didn't even play; he was like a late scratch.
Yeah, because like, you don't need him here. So
it's like I don't know what just the Texans tried. They try, but they're not good. They know what they are. They're not gonna tank. They're not gonna lose games on purpose, but they're not gonna They know what Davis Mills. They're playing Davis Mills for a reason. They know he's not the future, so they're playing him. So they figure out, hey, teams might want to trade for him. I don't know, but I really got nothing much to say about this game. It's 23-10.
Commanders. Now a game that we both probably gonna have a lot of opinions about. Talk to me.
What should I start? Both teams deserve to lose, but also both teams deserve to win. Because let me go with the Colts first. Colts fight hard, man. The Colts fight hard. Now, 16 points. Eagles defense, they getting better slowly but surely. But Jonathan Taylor was still able to run. He had 84 yards. Like, yeah, it wasn't the 200 yards because they signed Ndamukong Suh like Thursday. This was like, well, they try to plug up the holes, but hey, they didn't turn the ball over like that. They didn't turn that. They had one fumble. Like, there was nothing really like shout. Oh my god! Like they played a great brand of football. No, they just played clean football, and the Eagles have a great team. Don't let the record, don't let the loss. Oh my god, they lost to the Commanders. Oh, they almost lost to the Colts. The Chiefs lost to the Colts. They actually lost. We can't say no. The Chiefs owed it. Like, oh, it looks like they won, but they only lost. They technically they won by negative 4 points. No, they lost. The Chiefs lost to the Colts. The Eagles beat the same exact Colts team with Shaq Leonard back. So it's like there's a lot I can say, but then nothing at all. Because I think Jalen Hurts, he was like, yo, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna put the team on my back. And scored and did everything possible for his team to win. That's all I really got. There's no else I can say. The Colts put up a great fight. Jeff Saturday is proving he can coach a little bit. Hey, and this goes to show everyone's like, oh, he can't coach. He shouldn't be able to coach. Bro, offensive linemen, especially centers, are probably the smartest people on the entire offense next to quarterback. Because they have to know their position. Everybody's on the same exact page. They control the entire offensive line and the quarterback. They have to know what the defense is in all times as well. So the centers are actually, like, next to the quarterback, probably the smartest person or people on the entire team. So Jeff Saturday, all-pro center for many years with Peyton Manning, worked with one of the GOATs. He knows what he's doing. Now, is it translating to winning? Not necessarily. They beat the Raiders, cool, and they lost to the Eagles. But they're playing hard for him. And I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. Of course not. But they play hard for him. And that's all that really matters. But Eagles, they sneak out and win. And you talked about, hey, you play who's on your schedule. You try to rack up wins while you can. Because we talk about a team later on. Them boys coming up for them. The way the Cowboys are playing, they got to see them boys again. So, good win by the Eagles. Get those wins. Hey, stack them up now because their schedule gets tough. They still have to play the Giants twice. They got to play the Cowboys again. They got to play, they got to play the Saints. They got to play the Packers. So they got teams on their schedule that can give them a run for their money. So you got to get the wins while you can. So good job, I guess. Play the Titans too, which is going to be a fantastic game.
Oh yeah, for sure. So for me, right, I feel like there's a lot to unpack with this game, but the main thing I would say is that the Eagles should have lost. I strongly believe the Eagles should have lost, and that they are exposed. I don't care. Like, they've had bad showings back to back weeks, and it took an heroic effort for Jalen Hurts to even win the game. Bullshit. No. Like, I love chaos as much as the next guy, but I believe the Jeff Sundays.
Jeff Saturdays.
Nah, the Jeff Sundays. Where I'm on it. I'm on the bandwagon. Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip. My boy Josh, what they do? But yeah, bro, like, I feel like it's just weird, bro. They should have lost. They should have lost. They could have lost, but they didn't because of Jalen Hurts. Now, Skip Bayless is on this tirade. Oh, he's the MVP. He will this team back to win. That's true. But we all know the MVP is Patrick Mahomes. Bar none. Like, he is the MVP. It was just an ugly game. But, again, similar to the Ravens. Like, yo, we want, like, if you got to win ugly sometimes, you got to have turnovers. You got to have penalties. Like, you feel me? You got to win the games. Who's on your schedule? Now, can the Colts salvage their season? I actually believe so. I think they I don't know what their schedule's looking like. I'm not gonna make this a schedule show, but there's definitely there's a reason why we had them slated at 12-5 or 11-6. We as in pundits, and myself.
I said they missing the playoffs, man.
As a hopeful future pundit in sports media television, I don't know. We're gonna see how the lives go as they may. I thought the Colts had a strong season. Now, Matt Ryan is the best quarterback for the position, but definitely in the offseason, definitely got to look for a new one. But, hey, it's right. Now, the worst. Oh, my God. All right. Now, I don't care who won. The Patriots won the game. That's awesome. Like, the AFC East is actually competitive this year, which is awesome. Now, if the Browns had won, it would have been more chaos, which you love chaos on this side. And then it just, all right, you talking? All right, cool. Yeah, so we love chaos. So if the Browns had won, then the Bills would be last in the division. It would be so much pandemonium. But Patriots won off a last second punt return, which Loki could have got called back. because like watching the replay, like that was blocking the back. I'm not gonna lie. Both teams deserve to lose, but both teams deserve to win because their defense is stepped up. Now, Mac Jones, he didn't throw any touchdowns, but he kept drives alive. He threw for 240 yards, I believe. But he all right. He did some things. The running game was all right. The running game, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, they did their thing. Now the Jets,
God damn it,
bro.
I got nothing, bro.
I got not like we got Jets fans as friends, bro. And we like, yo, this dude Wilson is trash. Moosey, he's like the most delusional, but like a Cowboys fan version of the Jets is my boy Moosey. And this dude was just like, yo, even he was like, yo, this dude is trash, bro. Like, I'm like, yo, he almost threw a pick to the guy. Now I know the wins was going crazy, but Nick Folk missed like 2 kicks. So it wouldn't even have to go to overtime. But when it comes down to it, right? You have one last drive, one last gasp, and you can't even muster up yardage to even get one first down, bro. And then in the media, you say, "Yo, you don't even own up to the fact that you let your defense down," because they played tremendous. They were sacking Mac Jones, getting pressures, getting stops when it needed to, giving you chance after chance after chance to run the ball, do something. But you refuse to not only take ownership and accountability, like, yeah, this loss is on me because and then you're supposed to shout at your defense, you're shout the defense played a hell of a job. You got your locker room saying, yo, our offense needs to be better. You got your coach saying our offense needs to be better. Garrett Wilson is a real dude. He's a dude. He says it how it is. Like, yo, our offense was. I'm not trying. I'm kind of trying to curse. So he's like, our offense wasn't anything. It wasn't doing anything today, and that can't happen when your defense is letting up pressure, sacks, going crazy, phenomenal. You gotta play better, my brother. Milford and Zach, we was on the lock in before I tweak out for a reason because we knew that, yo, if they're gonna win this game, it will be because of you, and you shown yet again. And Stephen A. already written him a new one. He's like, yo, men take accountability, boys run from it. I know you're still young. I think you're like our age or something like that. But you messed up big time. Not just in your play, but the way you carry yourself after the game. And you're acting like a kid. You're a grown man now. You're playing in a grown man league. You better lock in, son. Because they don't make the playoff. You've had the best start to a season in years, bro. Finally got optimism in New York. Besides the Giants, we're gonna talk about the Giants in like 2 games. Yeah, New York is up. That's what Natch has been saying the whole time. New York is up. But as soon as expectations come for you guys, you want it to be this bad. They play Chicago, who have a bad defense. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. But yo, bad moves, Zach. Bad moves, Zach. You still got that dog in you because you know you out here smashing cougars and shit. But even then, that's what you're known for. Like, I don't know, bro.
That's your calling card. That's a damn shame. Now, you said almost everything I want to say, and we were right. The Jets, if the Jets find a way to like lose this positioning and miss the playoffs, that will be classic Jets. That will be exactly what they deserve. Zach Wilson, I had him on the lock-in list because I was like, yo, you get a chance at redemption. And he was just as bad, if not worse. Yeah, the stats, you didn't have 3 picks. Yeah, but you were just as bad because you had a chance to win last time you played the Patriots and lost. You had a chance to beat the Patriots again. The Jets haven't beat the Patriots in 14 straight meetings. That's 7 years. 7 years, bro. Like, bro, crazy. 7 years, bro. We were 24. That was when our senior year of high school. If that, maybe before that. So maybe our junior year of high school was the last time the Jets beat the Patriots. That's to put that into perspective, a long ass time. We are now 2 years, soon to be 3 years removed from college. Do the math. That is just a damn shame. Now, here's what's good. Let's not be all negative. Let's be positive a little bit as well. Defense, hellacious. I love the Jets defense. Love it. Sauce Gardner, defensive player of the year, or defensive rookie of the year. Obviously, boom. That's wrapped up. That's cool. Quentin Williams showing himself. I was like, yo, he's. Well, they had 6 sacks on Sunday. 6. Yeah, like the defense for the Jets played their asses off, and we said it with the Justin Fields thing with the Bears game we talked about earlier. Justin Fields owned up. Like, yo, the defense put ourselves in a position. This is what you want as a player, and the offense can't get it done. That's our fault. In the locker room, he had that conversation, that heart to heart with them. He's like, yo, couldn't get it done. And the defense was like, yo, no, we good. The fact that he had accountability, the defense and everyone like raps is like, yo, we're gonna win some games, we're gonna make it happen. Everybody in the locker room for the Jets. Kind of like everyone knows the elephant in the room, but no one wants to say it. It's kind of like the ugly popular chick, where she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips, but she's not. And everyone knows it, but they don't want to hurt their feelings. Or for whatever reason, even though she's toxic as hell. But that's neither here nor there. But
also, you know what's crazy? Like, they drafted this man ahead of Justin Fields. Like, the whole draft coming out was like, oh, it's Trevor Lawrence won. Cool, unanimous. The draft starts at 2. But then the Jets like, nah, the draft starts at 3 because we're going to pick up Zach Wilson. Off of one pro day, and I keep saying that he's keep trying to recreate that magical pass he threw at his pro day. I'm like, yo, bro, you can't do this every single time. That's crazy. Justin Fields with this team is a playoff team and one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl because he can make plays with both his arms and his legs, and the defense is hellacious, which is insane. But talk to me. Your team won. I gotta talk to my roommates to tell them to calm down. You, Saints, finally called a dub. How do you feel?
All right. Well, before I go into my happiness about the Saints, I will say the Jets picked Zach Wilson over these guys: Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Penei Sewell, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain, Devonta Smith, Justin Fields, Michael Parsons, Rashawn Slater. That's bad to sell yourself short on one person who thinks they're all that in a bag of chips. But he's not. But Saints, finally, I wish I had the ability to play the sounds and stuff like that. Play the sound, finally. The finally sound.
Finally!
Finally get a dub. I talked about this. If not now, then when? Merch potentially coming soon. We gotta find a way to create that, because that's what happened. This is the first time since the Raiders game where obviously we won, and 2, we played. It was a little bit. It had us in the first half. Not gonna lie, Matthew Stafford making plays, looking like the old Matthew Stafford. But man, and we didn't even run the ball that well. But here's where things get crazy. We had no penalties on offense. No penalties on offense. No offensive holding. No offensive pass interference. No false starts. We played the best offensive game we could have played because everything was clicking on all cylinders. Now, we didn't score every time, but our favorite rookie here at ShabazzTV, Olave. Yeah, another 100-yard game. Hold on. Andy Dalton, he locked in. He was on my list. The whole Saints team was on the list, but he was the one that was mainly in particular. He was the one because I was like, yo, if we don't turn the ball over and you have good decision making, hey, trust your playmakers. Trust Kamara. Trust Olave. Jarvis Landry in the slot, making things happen, making great, tough, contested catches. And we had no penalties on defense. The 2 penalties came on special teams. That doesn't happen, especially for me. A team, I'm like, good things happen and there's no flag? Like, what? Now, we did play the benefit of having Matthew Stafford get hurt with concussion. all praise. Hope you good. Make sure you're good. But he was on concussion protocol last weekend, and then he didn't play. And he played this weekend, still in concussion protocol. He cleared, but then boom, got re-injured, but on a sack. So it's kind of like, damn, it's not a bittersweet one because we take wins. Hey, wins are desperate nowadays. We take them how we can get them, but at the same time, it's like, damn, like we got our redemption for 2018, but it's a shame that it came at we both were three win teams. Like that's why it's like I wish it was like last time we played them in the regular season where like they were 7-1, we were 7-1, and like let's go after. This is that preview of the NFC Championship game, and it wasn't. Matthew Stafford, the Rams offense looks cooked. The defense is still fantastic with Aaron Donald, but Jalen Ramsey get burned. Toasty.
Tough.
We got the Niners this week. Now, we'll talk about the Niners. But hey, crazier things have happened. Crazier teams have gone on runs before. Hey, but you gotta be consistent. Don't turn the ball over. Run the ball and don't have stupid penalties. We only settled for 3 one time, which I was kind of upset about. But hey, we scored touchdowns and not settled for field goals. We played keep away, and we made it happen. That's all I really can ask for as a Saints fan. That's what I want to see as an NFL fan, at least with my team. Don't turn the ball over. Don't have stupid penalties, and just play clean football and get slowly healthy. Cameron Jordan missed his first game through the injury in his entire career because of an eye injury. So hopefully he comes back. And we just gotta start stacking. We got 1. Let's go for 2. And go for 3. And then we get a bye. So we play Niners, then the Bucks, and then a bye. So we can find a way to win those 2 games. We're 4-7. You get to 6-7. Hold on. Crazier things have happened. But hey, Saints did their thing. That's all I can really say about it. No complaints on this side today.
I have 2 main takeaways for the game. I feel like one. Now we talked about Jameis last week. Or like, why is he not playing? Like, why? And he was asking the presser, like, oh, why? Like, how do you feel about like using your starting job? And he's like, he also threw it. It wasn't because he was playing bad, which is kind of debatable. But it wasn't because he was playing bad. It's more because he was injured. So he's like, like, normally when a quarterback
he was bad because he was injured.
That too. So he's like, like when you get back, you're supposed to get your job back. And Andy Dalton for the last couple of weeks has been shown an ineptitude to be a decent quarterback. And you're like, why are you here? Like, he doesn't even go here. Shout out to Mean Girls. Like, bro, I feel like Jameis now everything is washed away because you guys call it a W, but in reality, I don't think Andy Dalton is the guy for you guys to push you guys to the playoff push. I don't know. But then the other takeaway is like, Rams is in shambles. Cooper Kupp probably going to be out for the rest of the year. They probably could while play him. Like, at this point, while play him. Yeah, you guys are 3-7. Like, no. Like, while play him at this point. Like, the Seahawks, 49ers are the clear-cut heads of your division right now, which is surprising because the Seahawks was thought to be slated to be one of the worst teams in the league. But, hey, man, that's tough. And then they cut Dale Henderson today. And I'm like,
yeah, saw that.
This is confusing now. Is Cam Akers going to finally be the lead back role that he was supposed to be? Remains to be seen. I know he wanted out, but now that I guess Darrell Henderson's out, he's in. Kyron Williams, I think, coming off of IR, like he's going to be playing more, which is awesome. But Sean McVay, I don't know. Now, this is a out there take, but I think Aaron Donald retires. I think he retires after the season because he didn't hit the role. It's hard to be the best every year, but for like damn near a decade, besides your rookie season, but the second year that you've been in the league and on, you've been a first team All Pro. You've been the best defensive player in the league, debatably, obviously. Bro, it's hard. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to be triple teamed every single time. It's tough. But hey, it's weird. The Rams is in shambles right now. Now speak. So this game does put a smile on my face.
This,
Although I thought the Giants were gonna win. I definitely did. Cause Lions are good on the road. Jared Goff in the cold is not the same. But yo, the mighty have fallen. And I obviously I hate to see the Giants lose a game because I'm from New York. We from New York, you know what I'm saying? But it's not the fact that they lost. It's how they lost. They couldn't score 20 points on one of the league's worst defenses. Like Daniel Jones and my main takeaway, they couldn't run the ball with Saquon against again one of the league's worst defenses who got carved up by Justin Fields last week, which is insane. Right? You lumble that with the fact that the Giants they want to run the ball. That's their identity. Run the ball, play defense. They couldn't run anything. They couldn't even run drop paint. It was just stuck there repeatedly. Matt Breida stole a touchdown from Baquan. I was like, God damn. All right, that's awesome. Daniel Jones got a touchdown. That's cool. Other than that, they didn't do nothing the whole game. Yeah, Graham Gano missed a kick. And we was like, what the hell?
two PATs.
Like, bro, like that's wild. That's wild. Now you couldn't get to 20 points against again the league's worst defense. That's our headache. And then your defense, who was your saving grace, like, oh yeah, Wink Martindale transformed his defense, came on Thibodeau, not looking like a bum, like good Leonard Williams and all these other players. Injuries. Dory Jackson's out for like 6 weeks. Like, damn. It's another one gone. That's tough. That's honestly tough. Now, guys play the Cowboys, and to be fair, it's a short turnaround for a bad loss like that because Jamal Williams carved you guys up like barbecue chicken, and he's looking like the RB1. Sorry, Swift owners. Sorry, Swift owners. It is what it is. But yo, that's tough. That is tough. Tough loss, and then you gotta go to the Cowboys Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You don't get waxed. And I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be mad because Cowboys is winning games. Like how? But I don't know, bro. It's a bad loss. But good win for the Lions. 3 straight dubs. They still in playoff contention. We thought by now they'd be like, oh, we out of here. We pack it up. But they won 3 straight. So shout out to the Lions.
Word. Dan Campbell was on the hot seat now. They're like, okay, he's doing something. It just took 8 weeks. I'll be quick. Lions didn't turn the ball over. Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes turned to the laughing stock of New York. He was doing well in their winning streaks because they didn't turn the ball over. And then he has 2 picks and they lose a fumble. I don't say he lost a fumble. I think they just lost 3. They had 3 total turnovers. Let's not cut it. That's not going to cut it. It's not simple as that. You can't turn the ball over against any team. And the Lions have a sneaky great offense with Amon-Ra and Jamal Williams and Swift. Brock Wright, sound their name. And Jared Goff, as much as we give him crap, he doesn't. He's trying to not turn the ball over. He's not trying to be a liability like Ryan Gosling. And remember the Saints. But man, that's all the 1:00 games. Whew. Hold on. Not hack it, pack it.
Hit crazy.
Crazy. Now I don't even want to talk much about this game, so I'll be quick. There's three main takeaways. The first, shout out to the Raiders for coming together and not just saying, "Yo, we gonna fumble the season away." No, they came, they saw, they conquered. On that note, though, the second takeaway, the Broncos defense again. We talked about teams carrying, like the Panthers defense, their backs are hurting right now. That the Panthers' backs are hurting, the Broncos' whole body aches from carrying this goddamn team. Because Jesus Christ, if the Broncos, and this goes into my third point later on, if the Broncos scored 20 points, even if they score 18 points every single game, they would be 9-1. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. I mentioned it last week. If they had scored 18 points on offense every week of the season, they would be 9-1. But the third point, you have a $250 million. The Broncos are in a terrible situation going forward because you have a coach you don't know about and you don't trust. You have a quarterback who's trying to focus more on his brand and not on his play. Your defense is fantastic, but you're losing receivers left and right. They just cut Melvin Gordon, his bum ass. Like the Broncos situation, and they have no first round picks. Like they have no sustainable future going on. Now is Russell Wilson going to turn back the clock? Is he going to be like, oh, we still have a chance to make the playoffs and let's make something happen? Maybe, but he's playing so bad right now that and I feel bad for his defense. I feel absolutely bad for his defense because his defense is carrying him to craziness. Shout out to Devontae Adams being wide open and just bullying Pat Surtain II. He's a little too young. He's a little too young to be compared to the goats, but he gonna get there eventually. But man, I feel bad for that Broncos defense because it shouldn't have gone to overtime.
It should not have.
The game should not have been close.
And you're saying that there's a chance we can make the playoffs, bro. The last 7 games, they played the Chiefs twice, the Ravens, and the Chargers. Bro, that's 4 losses right there. And then you talk about the Panthers defense. They play the Panthers next. So it's gonna be a defensive battle, low scoring, under, lock, guaranteed. Then you play the Ravens. Then I want to try to make this a schedule thing, but for perspective, then they play the Chiefs after the Ravens. Then they play the Cardinals, which if they have Kyler Murray, it's a scary team because they can run the ball. Then they play the Rams, which at this point is probably a W because goddamn. And then open New Year. Oh, Chiefs again. So probably by the New Year's, they're going to be out the playoffs. Not even that. Probably by our birthday, they'll be out the playoffs. Officially out. Officially by our birthday, which is December 16th. So by the time they play the Cardinals, so after they play the Panthers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs, after that Chiefs game, Benito, done. Raiders, they saved their season because it's still winnable. They still can win some games. Now, their offense can score. Their defense actually pretty right. Now, what that was more of an element of playing against Russell Wilson, possibly. But to be fair, they definitely it does suck that this year we're not going to see them at the full potential. And I hope they don't fire Josh McDaniel because injuries out the ass. We're still rebuilding the offensive line, the defense, and all that. Hunter Renfro's been out for basically all the year with 1 or 2 games. Waller's been on IR. They're not a full team right now. But Derek Carr, who, to his credit, I'm a huge fan of. He's keep trying to make it happen, and he keeps doing it. He keeps on doing it, and it's unfortunate, but hey, they play the Chargers.
They play Seahawks.
Oh, Seahawks probably out because they offer by Pete Carroll, one of the best coaches ever.
Seahawks, Chargers, Rams in the next 3 games.
Tough two. It's definitely a tough 3, depending on what kind of Rams team we get. So, hey man,
not a scheduled show, but Raiders are definitely right now in a better position than the Broncos are.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because they got the cap space, they got the draft picks. They got a future. Yeah. They have something.
Bengals-Steelers. I don't really know what to go for.
Steelers should have won.
The Steelers should have won?
I think Steelers should have won. I think that obviously Joe Mixon being out definitely hurts long term. But Samaje Perine had the best game of his life. 3 touchdowns. Something there's elements for both teams where all right, cool. For the Bengals, T. Higgins, dog. He's a dog. He is just a dog. That's the post. Joe Burrow, he threw 2 picks. One was a spectacular catch by TJ Watt. I don't even know how he got it, but hey, whatever. The offensive line is still in shambles. It's still patchwork, but they're getting better every week. You can see the improvements. And, all right, cool. Still aside, you like what you see from George Pickens. Trading Claypool definitely was a boost for him because now he's the number 2, which in some eyes he's the number 1 because people think he's better than Deontay Johnson. I'm not people. I think it's a little too premature for that, but you can see the flashes. Him and Pickett got a little connection because it's back-to-back weeks, so he had the touchdown. Now I know last week he ran it in, but this week that was a great route he ran, a deep post inside, caught it, touchdown, easy. Now Najee Harris, another bright spot. So consecutive weeks, he's played aggressive. He's been decisive and all. He hasn't done a happy feet dance. Nah, he's seen the hole. He attacked. And that hurdle was also Reggie Bush type of timing. He was on the Saints. It kind of brought me back a little bit where I was like, wow, that was an insane hurdle. The defense gave up 37. That's okay. That is okay. You put pressure on Burrow. They got two interceptions out of it. And I think that if they shorten up the run defense, everything else will follow. Because again, they're still one of the worst in the league in run defense. Because like it's Swiss cheese. You can just slice it and slice it and slice it and slice it. It's tough. But I think even with this loss, there's still a chance for him not to go Mike Tomlin. I mean, not to go under 500 first time in career. There's still a chance. And I'm always going to bet for him. Although it's fucked sales on this side, I'm still rooting for him. Yeah. That's my takeaways.
Steelers, man, just I don't know. They scored 30 points for like the first time it feels like all season. It's like, holy, it's like, okay, they can score. Now is that a product of Cincinnati's defense just being hurt? And let me confirm, yes, that was the first time they scored 30 points all season. That I just confirmed. That is crazy to me. That's crazy to me. They play some suspect defenses and suspect offenses coming up. The Colts, Falcons, and then the Ravens game is always a toss-up. Like always, you guys are like defensive like battle always. So throw records out the way. Steelers have a chance to do something special, but I don't know. I you gotta see more from Kenny Pickett. You gotta see a little bit more from him. TJ Watt obviously is fantastic. This it's hard to you gave up 37 points to the Bengals. Most teams are gonna give up 30 plus points to the Bengals. And the Bengals are getting Jamar Chase back. So like most teams are gonna give up that point spread to them. But can you keep up with them? That's the issue. Chidobe, I think of Chidobe Awuzie. He's hurt. So that's like the defensive corners is getting a little hurt and it's not as healthy as before. But that's that. But speaking of team at full strength, who just got bullied and punched in the mouth. I don't even want to talk. Bro, Cowboys, they did their thing. 40-3. 40-3. I haven't seen a beatdown like that since the Bills beat down the Steelers. Vikings just came off the best win, regular season win, probably in franchise history. Come back down 17 points. You got Kirk Thuggins being out here doing his thing on the planes and stuff. Patrick Peterson showing up, being a Hall of Famer. Justin Jefferson arriving, and then 3 points to show for it. They didn't start off great with Micah Parsons doing a strip sack. That never starts off great when your defense gets a strip sack or offense gets strip sacked. Boom, fumble, off rip. I got not much to say. The Cowboys played, as Michael Irvin said, the perfect game. The Cowboys played the perfect game on offense, defense, special teams. Brett Maher hit 60-yarders like it was nothing. It was like, yo, this is like an all Madden, like Madden Ultimate Team type shit. Like everyone's on all cylinders. But, and this is a question I know you're probably going to ask yourself rhetorically, can they be consistent? If this is the pick, if this is how the Cowboys are, a lot of people think the Cowboys defensively can be up here. Offensively, it's been middled and like trying to figure out. But the defense, this is the peak. This is the Cowboys defense that won them games with Cooper Rush. Now, can our offense carry as well? Where Tony Pollard getting 2 touchdowns, Zeke getting 2 touchdowns, CeeDee Lamb doing some great things on the receiving end, Dalton Schultz having my fantasy team doing some things on the receiving end, like being spread out and not having Dak do so much and having carry. They ran the ball well. They gave it to their running backs, and that set up everything else. Also, last thing, and you'll have the floor, Justin Jefferson, and this is something that Nick Wright said. Shout out to him. If think back to the 2 losses of the Vikings had, the 3 bad games of that offensively. Eagles, when they lost, they got destroyed Monday Night Football. Cowboys got destroyed Sunday, and then the Lions offensively, that game they didn't really show. It wasn't. They were down 17 and fluky ref calls, and they came back and won. All 3 of those games, Justin Jefferson had less than like 50 yards.
That's the key.
So it seems as though he's the key, that he's the keg that gets that team going. So if they not all defenses can shut down Justin Jefferson. It's a tall task to do. Trust me. But if that's something that okay, Kirk Cousins can't. He's not going to beat you with Thielen. Dalvin Cook had like 70-something yards. But they couldn't run the ball, so because they were down by 30. So the defense for the Cowboys, they have to show me that they can win a close game and not blowouts. But other than that, perfect game for the Cowboys. But is it repeatable and is it sustainable? That's all I really got.
All right, so for me, I got a couple takeaways. I'm just counting. One. If that's the best way, if that's the best game for the Cowboys, the league should be in trouble. But I say that with a grain of salt because we know the Cowboys. They have this game every year. Once a year, they spank a team, and then it's like, oh, they're going to the Super Bowl. It's lit. Oh my gosh! But we know eventually they let you down. So I want to put my arms around the Cowboys. I want to put my arms around them and give them a hug. But I'm like, yo, I already know based off your historical trends, that you're going to let somebody down eventually. So now my litmus test for them, because they have a pretty easy schedule going on. I think week 15 or whatever, when they play the Eagles again. That's my litmus test. They played the Giants on Thursday and some other games like that, but hey, there's not really a team in there. All right, that's a challenge. And they go to Philly. Well, they're at home this time, but they play Philly again, and they duplicate this performance. Then I'm all right, cool. But again, it'll be like a half hug, like a side hug. Shorty back in high school, she was cute, but she wasn't really feeling it. She was a side hug, like, oh, you're not feeling me, cool. That's the first takeaway. Second takeaway, Tony Pollard should be the starter. I don't know why. Zeke is still a starter, but they implemented both of them obviously because of the money. But I will say this: they implemented both of them in the best way possible, where both of them got time to shine. Because when it came to like short yardage situations, they gave the ball to Zeke because that's what he specializes in, because he's more north and south. And then when it came down to like passing downs where you needed somebody to make a play, it was either for Tony Pollard. Every time he touched the ball, first down, touchdown. He was carving up untouched back-to-back touchdowns, which was crazy because he could catch and he could run fast as hell. Right? Third takeaway. I know Justin Jefferson is the key. I'm not really going to put much of this on Kirk Cousins because it's kind of hard to even analyze your whole progressions. Every time you do a 5-step drop, Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence is coming through the sides. Christian Darrisaw went out with an injury. And even with the first play, because obviously Micah Parsons is one of the best players in the game, that first play, strip sack. It's kind of hard to build momentum when you start off slow like that. And then once your left tackle goes out, you're like, damn, like, how the fuck am I going to do anything? So bounce back. They play the Patriots. And this is why Thanksgiving is always a good time, because especially if you play on Thanksgiving, because if you had a bad showing like the Giants did, like the Patriots did, and like the Vikings did, you have a chance to right the ship in a short time, and everyone's gonna forget all about it. And awesome. So bounce back. We talk about that tomorrow. But man, Sunday night football, and it
West Invitational. God damn it.
so now this I have no takeaways. Actually, I have couple takeaways. One, Nick Wright freaking called it. He called it on his gambling show. If you're not subscribed to What's Right, you definitely do it. He's very enjoying him and Demaze. Good report. So he says, "Yo, don't bet the Chargers plus 6.5. You could do it. I think it was 5.5. Whatever. You can do that, but you should also have them plus 6.5. Or you have them like plus at the half because they're gonna take the lead, and then at halftime, bet Chiefs as the underdog." And literally, as soon as he said it, it happened. And I was like, "Bro, you're serious?" Because literally every time the Chiefs play the Chargers, the only team in that division, or hell, every in the AFC, to be fair, that plays consistently, not you can give them one game or two. Every single time since Justin Herbert's been a starter for the Chargers, every time the 5 games they played, he's either had the lead late or he's battling Mahomes the entire game. Bro, that was insane game. Mahomes went for like 300 total yards, 280 something for Justin Herbert. Eckler got in the end zone. Kelsey got in the end zone. I'm upset because Mike Williams had a spectacular catch.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he had that catch, he was out for the rest of the game. That got me so mad. One, because I had him for over, I think, 40 yards. And the way it was looking, he was going to get that. But, and then Keenan Allen didn't remember. He did something. He fumbled, which was rare, but like, all right, he ain't playing like 6 weeks. I get it. But they stepped up. Carter stepped up tremendously for him. Now, if he can be consistent with Mike Will and Keenan Allen, that's a good trio. That's a good trio to have. And then Eckler still being record. And then they ran the ball, not just with Eckler, but with the other guy to give Eckler some breathing room as well. So then when he came into the field, he was more explosive.
What's his name? Let me see.
So shout out to the whole offensive.
Sony Michel is a running back, but he was just a blocking back for them.
It was another guy. It was definitely another guguy.
Yeah,
but
they only had 3 people rush. It was Justin Herbert, Eckler, and Sony Michel.
Oh, so forget Sony Michel. Yeah, he was also Eckler not taking those blocking hits, but the Chiefs, man, this man, Patrick Mahomes is just that guy. And I know why he's your favorite quarterback, but he is that guy. He is that guy. I'm gonna get you a Patrick Mahomes jersey for my birthday. I'm gonna get you a Patrick Mahomes jersey for my birthday. Wait.
Appreciate that.
Wait, that's my gift for you. But he's the MVP. He's him. Himothy, Hemi Carter, Hemi Neutron, him additive you want to put. Kelsey, he just solidified his spot in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
He's already gonna make it because he's one of the top 5 tight ends all time. He had 3 touchdowns, 100 yards. I think he has like the most 100-yard games as a tight end ever. That's tremendous. That just proves longevity and being consistently great. But the biggest story though, Isaiah Pacheco, because this is what they expected with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but he can never capture that consistently. Every time this man touched the ball, he ran with urgency, he ran with a purpose, and he ran forward. There were times where he got stuffed a little bit, but for the most part, he ran fast, he ran angry, he ran like, yo, I'm going to get this first down. Especially in the second half, he was heating up. He ended up with 100 yards. I think their first 100-yard rusher since last year. We're 11 weeks into this season. That's a shame. It's been damn near a whole season, and they haven't had a 100-yard rusher. And that's a shame. That's a shame. But if he's they drafted him in like the 7th round. So like, wow. Tony went down. They lost Juju wasn't playing, and VS wasn't playing. Like, no, NBA, but Cole Harbin wasn't playing. Like, they lost a lot of players, but players stepped up and they got the dub. But Holmes, you gotta milk the clock, man, because apparently 13 seconds is too short, a minute's too short. Like, you just gotta get the ball last and kick it last thing and field goal to win them, because that's literally how it's looking right now. But good win by the Chiefs, man, and it's for the Chargers, but I think they bounce back because they got the Broncos again, and they got some other matches that they could exploit.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes, man. That's all I gotta say, man.
He's him.
He's won, and I'm trying to get the stat. He is 12. Hold on, he's 12-2 in his career in November. 12-2 in his career in November. He has won all of his road division games. I'll say it again. All his road division games, he's won. He is like 12-3 or 13-3 in his division since he got here. This dude, man, he's here to stay. He's here to stay. Him and Andy Reid together, man. And I think he just extended his streak. He's like 15 wins in a row in November and December. That does not happen, bro. Unless all the him adjectives you want to say. Himothy, him and neutral. Like, bro, he is a winner. He is a gamer. That's it. That's all that is. Now, Justin Herbert, love him to death. Shout out to Justin. I hope the Chargers have him for a long time and build around him and get healthier around him. The Chargers seem cursed with injuries all the time. But the Chiefs, man. And Nick Wright, yes, when your hometown team and the team you've been rooting for all the time and they suck for so long and then they get a good quarterback and they start winning, you have the right to be obnoxious. You have the right to be, because who's going to stop them? I will say this, and he said it absolutely right. The entire AFC West spent like $350 million on their defenses to stop Kansas City. They're going to have the division locked up by week 14. They have a 3-game lead on the Chargers and a fucking 4 or 5 game lead on everyone else. By December, like by our birthday, they will have the division clinched. That's some Patriots dominance from the 09s and the 2000s.
And now, real quick before we move on to 49ers and Cardinals, which I have a whole rant about that. Brandon Staley looking on the hot seat. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, he has to.
Because there's multiple times, but the one time where I'm like, I scratched my head, when they kicked the field goal, it was like 4th and short at the goal line. It was like 4th and 2. And like you've always went for that. Even when it was on your own side of the field. But when you're 4th and goal, basically 4th and goal, it's like 2 yards, like a 2 yard or whatever. Bro, you try to go for that.
Yeah.
Because it's so early in the game. Because you got to put up points. You selling for 3, and you hate selling for 3. But, like, this is why I love my Ravens, because we go for those consistently. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But we go for those because you know you got to put up points.
Bro, it went. So the Chiefs got the ball first. They went down the field. 12 plays, kick a field goal. 5 plays later, Chargers touchdown. Great. So 7-3. Chiefs go down the field again, kick a field goal. So now it's 7-6. You're at the goal line. Or you have 4th and 1 in like the 15 or 20-yard line. And you settle for 3. That's why I'm just disappointed.
Scratch my head.
It's like, damn, you had a chance and you could have gone up 8 points. If not even, and you sold. I'll say this really quickly. I didn't watch the game. I saw the highlights for this game because I was like, Niners are going to win. Niners ended up covering. They won by 28. That's a damn shame on the Cardinals' part. The Niners are a scary-ass team when healthy. They got fucking all-pros everywhere. First-team all-pro running back. First-team all-pro tight end. First-team all-pro receiver. First-team all-pro left tackle. And we talked about it. You lost your fantasy matchup because of it. Jimmy G is either gonna make that team go great or hold them back. That's it. Jimmy G is going to be the reason why they win or the reason why they lose. They have all the pieces. They just have to have a competent quarterback that can steer the ship and not lose them games. Niners are scary as hell. Cardinals got to fire Cliff Kingsbury yesterday, leaving him in Mexico. But they're probably not. They're going to let him stay until the end of the season. I fully expect Cliff Kingsbury to be gone. One of the first coaches gone on Black Monday at the end of the season. You go ahead with your rant, but that's all I really got. Niners are scary, and it's unfortunate for the rest of the NFC.
Yeah, sure. 49ers, I'm gonna hold off a little bit before I say it because Jimmy G hasn't been tested yet this season. So we're gonna wait on that. But like, yo, bro. I'm up by like 20. Nah, I'm up by like 30. I'm up by like 30. All he has is Jimmy G, Robbie Gold, and the defense of the 49ers, right? Yo, I lose by 0.7, bruh. I lose by 0.7 by some bull because this dude never threw four. I think he threw 4 times, probably like a handful of times in his whole career. Once in his whole career. This is going to be freaking Joe Montana in his prime. Out here throwing dots to Brandon Ayuk, which in one of my other leagues helped me win. Awesome. But then George McGriddle could have won a fucking act like he's 2019 again and get like mad yards and throwing it to McCaffrey. Got mad yards. That's awesome. I thought the run by Debo was like a touch pass. So I was nervous, but it would end up being just a touchdown run. I'm like, cool, it was fine. The defense, though, stepped up big. They controlled the whole game. They forced a QB benching, and then Chase McSorley threw a pick. I was like, fuck. I didn't watch the game either. I watched after. I started watching, and halftime came. I was like, 49. Like, it was close, but I was like, bro, 49ers going to turn it up. And then they turned it up. But I wake up, and I'm like, damn. Jason hits up my chat and was like, yo, that didn't like age too well when I said like GG's.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, son, I woke up to Argentina losing, and I wake up to this freaking BS, man. But the Cardinals are trash. Even with Kyler, like we fading Kyler, black quarterback, black person. I love my black people. We know this, but I just don't think he's an NFL quarterback at this moment in time. Like his mind is not in it. Now he didn't go on the trip. He went on a trip with him, which is awesome. It would have been even worse if he had stayed home just to play COD.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't know, bro.
Bro, I just saw this on Twitter, not Twitter, on NFL.com. Guess who's starting for the Panthers?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Lego, police officer Donald. So
he cooks the Broncos though.
I know. As much as we want to say fade the packet, I might have to pick the Broncos next week. But that is for tomorrow's show. That is the rest of today's show, ladies and gentlemen. We recapped a busy week 11. But now we turn the page on the history and look forward to tomorrow, which is always a mystery. Ooh.
You got that. But today's a guess why I call it a present. Boo.
Boo. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be all for today's show. Man, week 11. A lot of non-eventful storylines other than just like the Jets, and we talked about that for a long time. Tomorrow we have a full slate. All NFL teams are in action this weekend. It's Thanksgiving, so no teams are on byes. It's going to be a decently long show, but we're here for it. We do this every week. I'm Natty Baps. That's ShabazzTV. We'll see you guys tomorrow. If you don't tune in tomorrow, which you should, happy Thanksgiving, but please tune in. Leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Tell your friends to tell their friends. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with Week 12 predictions and analysis. Peace.
It's funny, I know about it. Certain to somebody. Sometimes.